The Mount Airy's Bears defense finished off their season by shutting down the Tarboro Vikings. They gave up only 7 points in their 20-7 win. The beauty of 1A football is that these players have to be good on the offensive and defensive side of the ball. For example, a quarterback who's also a top tackle on the team, and other offensive players making huge defensive plays. For coach and his players, this game was all about heart. The East Duplin Panthers defense made the difference in Friday night's game. After back-and-forth scoring between the two teams, late in the fourth quarter, the Panthers were able to pull away to an 8-point lead after defending a point-after attempt and scoring a touchdown. In the last 40 seconds of play, Wallace Rose scored a touchdown, but the Panthers defense stopped their 2-point conversion, leading the Panthers to a 28-26 victory. For Coach Battle Holly and his players, this is a meaningful win. It was a big game for UNCW as they looked to take over the longest win streak in the nation, beat a ranked opponent, and take first in the CAA. Trailing by 11 points at the half, UNCW came back out on fire, quickly closing the gap and eventually taking the lead. But it just wasn't enough. The Seahawks fell to Charleston 71-69.
Helping people is what lifeguards do. This past summer was a difficult one across the nation with a shortage of lifeguards. Tink Nebel, along with the Wrightsville Beach Ocean Rescue Team, was still able to have a successful year with lifeguard coverage. Nebel says it all came down to planning.
They had it all planned out to have almost pretty much every single stand covered every day, and that led to a pretty good, successful summer.
An important part of lifeguarding is swimming, and Nebel has been swimming her entire life. Her dad is an active duty Marine, which meant they moved around a lot, but she always had swimming to fall back on.
So we got to move every 2 to 3 years, and there's always one constant in my life, which was swimming. I would join like a new club team every single time we would move somewhere, so it was kind of always like that one thing that was consistent.
Once she realized her potential, she took her passion to the next level.
It was kind of always like on the back of my radar, maybe swimming in college, and fortunately, one of my club coaches, Brandon Hicks, he swam for UNCW.
Being on the Seahawks swim team is about more than swimming fast times and winning races. It's also about the family atmosphere.
It's really about how much you work with your team and putting in the hard work to get results. But it's definitely focused around being one family.
She found this family atmosphere in the Wrightsville Beach Ocean Rescue Team as well.
Okay. You can really tell from the outside looking in kind of how tight and unique these people are that I have the opportunity to work with. And so that kind of drove me to try out, and it still is the best decision I ever made.
She says that lifeguarding encompasses the most important things in her life.
Kind of have an affinity for two things in my life, which is the love for water and then also helping people.
Overall, swimming and lifeguarding make Nebel feel
very, very happy.
It's gotten a lot harder. We try and give them water whenever they want it.
Hydration is key when staying safe from summer heat. Pender High School head football coach Tom Eanes urges his athletes to consume water in any form or fashion.
Getting them to go home and drink the water, the Gatorades, things that are high in water, and watermelons and different things like that. I think if you need it, go get it.
His athletes know it too. Senior Kelvin Robinson says,
as long as I drink water and push through.
Drinking water is one way to keep these athletes safe. And timing workouts appropriately to avoid all severe weather, including intense sun and severe thunderstorms, is another.
You lose less practices, in my opinion, by going early in the morning. We haven't missed one all summer.
Pender High Junior Deshaun Brown agrees that mornings are great.
Like not so hot, it's not like the hottest part of the day, like 91 degrees, it's more like 70, 80, and the wind is blowing perfectly.
North Carolina schools use what's called the wet bulb global temperature to measure how safe the conditions are for athletes to play or practice.
It takes the human error out of it.
This takes temperature, humidity, wind speed, sun angle, and cloud cover all into consideration when determining the true feel of temperatures during practice or games.
Our athletic director will say you got to take the shoulder pads off today, and those type of situations are you got to take everything off today and just do more walkthroughs. So we have to adjust to whatever the machines and the upper people tell us to do.
To Coach Eanes, the most important thing is to keep the kids safe.
we won the battle up front. We got a little bit tired. We had a lot of kids going both ways. Got a little tired in the third, and just kind of found that second wind, as my dad used to say, and we gutted it out in the fourth and got stops when we needed to and put together drives when we needed to.
We've been playing since we were like little, and we know how each other's gonna click and how each other's gonna play, and it was just keeping our composure and just playing with each other and playing for each other.
So I just knew, as soon as I saw those two backs coming, I just knew, I was like, I gotta stick them. And I stuck them, and that ball just fell right in my hands, and it was just incredible. I can't even explain it. So
it was very special. It shows that we had a great team, and it's just everybody dialed in, and they started pushing the ball more in the second half, but we kept dialing in, and we knew they was gonna come out in the second half and really push, and we got the job done.
Football's the best team sport there is. We battled all night. Tarboro's a great team. We've had a few injuries here and there, and in 1A football, you've got to really be able to do next man up, because a lot of times that guy's playing both sides of the ball, and we had a bunch of guys that were ready to step up, and that's what they did all year, and I couldn't be more proud of my team.